Good afternoon. Welcome back to another episode by Tech Talk PhD, where we unveil one bite at a time. Today, we have one of our very special guests on our show. It's none other than Dr. Angelo Karunaratne, who is a biomaterials research scientist and also a wearable tech entrepreneur and also an innovator. How are you, Doctor, doing today?
Good, very good. Thank you, Russell, for inviting me for your 360 series. Glad to be here.
Amazing. It's my pleasure, Doctor. So, Doctor, let's start off with who is Dr. Angelo Karunaratne?
Yeah, so as uh, as you introduced me, I'm a biomaterial scientist and a wearable tech innovator and a thought leader in the space of biomaterials and wearable technology. So I have 12 years of experience in industry and academic research and 40 plus journal articles so far published in peer reviewed journals, and four uh, patent applications and one granted patent in the space of wearable technology. So my work spans developing innovative healthcare uh, products, particularly in the wearable technology space. And also in my academic side of work, I'm mainly in the biomechanics and the biomaterial space. So that's about me.
So, Doctor, that's an amazing introduction. So, my viewers might be new to this wearable tech entrepreneur side and biomaterial research scientist. So, where does this journey begin in this field? Where does it start?
Yeah, so my journey actually began when I received my PhD from Queen Mary University of London, and the thesis is around developing a biomedical engineering solution for detecting bone diseases at its early stages. So I applied my medical engineering expertise to solve a problem in the medical field. And so that's how it's all started. And that's kind of gave me an inspiration to work in the entrepreneurial kind of a setting, and such as the project called Spring, looking at uh, recovery, muscle recovery, and then Wave Tech, another product looking at um, compression therapy for lymphedema patients. And currently, we just started a small startup looking at breast cancer detection, and I'm working as a strategic advisor for this startup. And my full-time work actually mainly on the wearable technology work that I'm working with Soft Matter. It's a startup from MAS Holdings, and also with the University of Moratuwa, working with a research group looking at biomaterial characterization. And all these work being kind of very looking at high impact generating to mainly in the space of wearable technology as well as um, biomaterial, but the final target is to going into health and wellness space.
That's amazing, Doctor. So, Doctor, you mentioned about different projects that you are working on. What are the intensive experience that you have gained from these projects, and what trends that you have observed in this med tech and health tech industry over the years?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Now, when it comes to medtech and health tech, we see now it's moving towards to very personalized healthcare, driven by artificial intelligence and machine learning. So wearable technologies have become more integrated into daily life nowadays. Um, so looking at providing real-time uh, healthcare readings and analytics, right? And additionally, there's a growing emphasis in patient-centric product development. And also sustainability is another area. When it comes to healthcare product development, we look at sustainability. So if I have to summarize to your question, So it's looking at more personalized data providing through these devices, and then comes the real-time monitoring and analytics, and last but not least, sustainability side of things.
Yeah, that's true. And doctor, these wearable technologies have been very important, and what do I see? It's part of our daily lives. Where everywhere we go, like this part is actually wearable technology is really important. So, how do you see this technology evolving, and what potential do you see in that industry being impacted on the healthcare and wellness in the future and soon? What do you say about that?
Yeah. So I think the previous question was a great segue to what you're asking right now. Having that personalized consumer or the patient-centric healthcare is evolving to become even more seamless and intuitive, right? With capabilities for early detection of health conditions and personalized health insights. This evolution is actually of healthcare transformed by making preventative care accessible for a lot of patients. Those days, when I say those days, decade ago, it's basically for limited patients that most of the advanced healthcare was accessible. But now, because of this digital transformation, it's been accessible for many patients. So that's,
True.
I think, the positive side of what's happening right now.
Yeah. Uh, So, doctor, we connected those two questions, to build up the flow, but which brings us to like, can you share an example where you have successfully executed these tech developments that you spoke about, like med tech and health tech, like some of the examples? I think you mentioned some in the start, some of the projects that you have started up, but let's talk about something that you have completely developed and what's there.
Right. Yeah. So I can give a very good example. We Where we started as a sports adjacency and then kind of moved into medical space, healthcare space. So this one particular product, Spring, it's a compression recovery wrap that improves circulations in sports sportsmen, athletes, right, runners, swimmers, and etc. Then we were using wearable compression therapy to improve circulation by providing compression or massage to calf muscle. We saw a space that need this compression therapy in the medical area, looking at compression therapy for uh, lymphedema patients. So they require circulation improvement gadget, and these sort of devices were available. However, they were plugged into a wall socket, so you are stationary while you are having this therapy. So we looked at this space and we innovate the space by uh, improving circulation by wearable device that covers your body part. So it's if it is a if you are suffering this particular condition with your lower extremities, that means legs, or upper extremities, hands, especially when it comes to hands, especially breast cancer patients after mastectomy, they get these circulation issues. So you get the swelling in your arm, right? To improve circulation, to manage this condition, you need to improve circulation. So we developed upper arm compression device to improve circulation. So now we are kind of working with medical practitioners to fine tune this product, and working with few B2B partners, um, working on different form factors of products. Some are for full leg, some are for full arm. That's, I think, a good example how we looked at this space, from sports to all the way then to the medical, by but using the same technology by fine tuning it, here and there.
So, just a small question, Doctor. Spring is available in the market to purchase, or how does that work? The
Yeah, so
product.
yeah, so the Spring product going through the second version of it right now.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
it was from 2018 to 2022, it was available to purchase. But now we are kind of looking more heavily on the medical side of products.
Oh, amazing, amazing, Doctor. That's some wonderful example to start off with. So, Doctor, you mentioned about the academic research that you have done. So, there's a lot of youth listening to our conversation and watching this podcast throughout. So, what breakthroughs or advancement excite you in this field, and what keeps you motivated and drive to work every day and find innovation ideas in this field of biomedical engineering and wearable tech entrepreneurship, like what keeps you engaged in this field?
Yeah. On the academic research side, it's always been my passion. So this one of the key excitement was currently what I'm working with is a 3D printed fabricated scaffolds for bone fracture treatment. So this was a project we started in 2016 when I was at University of Moratuwa. Um, I played the role of principal investigator from University of Moratuwa, and it's a collaboration with Imperial College London. And we got a grant from NIHR UK to identify solutions for global health, one of the global health challenge. The global health challenge is developing medical tools for, especially for accidents and blast injuries, um, especially focusing on third world countries, right? And uh, I'm so I, it's a very broader research project, but just to uh, focus on what I kind of worked on and keep on time. Uh, One of the project was biomaterials project, which I collaborated with Professor Julian Jones from Imperial College London. So he is kind of fabricating these scaffolds, 3D printed scaffolds, and then we can implant them into human as a bone fracture treatment, right? And the first project started as characterizing these scaffolds by using 4D image analysis software that was developed by my PhD student Achinta. Now we are in the second phase. Now we are characterizing these scaffolds mechanically in vitro bone scaffold and fixator construct, right? So basically, we create a fracture in a bone artificially, and we implant this scaffold into that fracture site. And also, we have an external fixator that was developed in the phase one, and we are mechanically loading it to see whether the scaffolds can withstand the loads during the physiological conditions. So
Oh,
that's kind of really inspiring and keep me going, because we are, end of the day, we are developing a scaffold or a biomedical engineering solution for real world a problem, right?
yeah,
So
definitely.
that's one of the area that we are working on.
Does it uses AI, Doctor, artificial intelligence?
So we use artificial intelligence and machine learning when we were developing this image analysis framework,
Oh,
to capture series of images to
yeah.
understand the scaffold microarchitecture.
Oh, wow, that's pretty amazing. So, Doctor, when we speak all of these industries that you are in, where do you see the future of medtech and health tech heading? Is it somewhere we can say the young generation to step in and work towards it? And what role do you think these innovations will play when, like I mentioned, when AI comes in, emerging technologies joining in and collaborating with these industries? What do you see the future as?
Yeah. So the future of medtech and health tech lies in furthering the personalization, like I mentioned earlier, right? Integration of AI and predictive analysis and the development of sustainable patient-friendly technologies, right? So that's where it's heading towards to. I think it's definitely a great area to work, uh, especially the students who are listening to this talk should look at, right, what are the different skill sets that they need to develop, right, during at school age. um, Artificial intelligence, machine learning, I think that's the kind of future moving on to.
I think you answered a bit about what I was going to ask next. I was going to ask next is that what what skills and behaviors should the youth develop to make this to make their life better to fit the world right now and get a job and develop their career in this space. What do you you mentioned around 2 to 3 in the earlier question, but what do you say to this youth space?
Yeah, I think embrace interdisciplinary learning, right? Staying focused and being open to collaboration. So, like, I can give an example. Like I mentioned in the previous question, what you asked about uh, the inspirational or where where I get excited, right? So, working with multidisciplinary groups, uh, medical doctors, material researchers, mechanical engineers, electronic engineers who uses AI, machine learning. So it's a collaborative, interdisciplinary field. Uh, that's what it is. Medical engineering means. So uh, I think what the youth need to embrace that, how to work collaboratively. You individually, I don't think these days you can do any job, right? So
That's
making understanding that space and really thrive into collaboration into multidisciplinary area, that's, I think that's an advice I should give to youth.
So, Doctor, that's this last question I ask in every episode that I do so far. It's been there in every episode that I do is that how does everything that we spoke, the scope, when we connect it to Sri Lanka, we know where we are as a country. I'm actually really proud when Doctor mentioned these, technologies that I have never heard of. The project that you mentioned, they are quite interesting, and it's a lot of, I mean, it's a lot of tech and a lot of healthcare in it. Where do you see the future of Sri Lanka, and what do you specifically have to say to Sri Lanka and to the youth of Sri Lanka? You mentioned something to the youth, but when we connect it to Sri Lanka, there might be something different you might have to say.
Yeah, I mean, Sri Lanka and its youth, my key message is basically dream big, right? And leverage technology, because there's technology everywhere and it's very accessible nowadays, right? It's going through a digital transformation and drive a positive change. So the future belongs to those who are willing to innovate and apply their skills uh, towards solving a problem uh, that requires by everyone or majority, right? So I think your creativity, right, energy and passion have the power to make a lasting impact. That's what definitely we all should look out to, especially the youth in Sri Lanka uh, and in at large the world, right? Look at
Definitely.
creativity, energy, and passion towards to a positive and a lasting change, impactful change.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Doctor, for taking your time and joining into this podcast. It's been really inspiring and amazing about the projects that we speak and all the head tech and med tech tips that you share to the youth. It's been really amazing. Thank you so much. Let's just share some final words on the podcast, Doctor.
Sure. So, I mean, thank you very much for this opportunity, Russell, again, right? I think what you are doing, capturing people who are currently working on different areas in the tech and trying to inspire the youth. I think that's great. Uh, happy to be happy to be here with you, going through some uh, really great, timely questions. I think. Uh, Happy to be here again. Thank you for this opportunity.
You're welcome, doctor. If there's anyone who wants to connect with you or get some tip or knowledge about anything that you do and your space, are they open to connect with you on LinkedIn, or how does that go?
Yes. Yeah, I think the LinkedIn is the best place to connect with me. I'm fully open to have any conversation if it is just a piece of advice uh, for them to understand career opportunities or after advanced level what they want to do, what are the areas that they want to go into. Even that sort of a small question, I'm happy to advise.
Amazing, doctor. Amazing. Thank you again. Thank you very much, doctor, for spending your time. See you again in the next episode. That's Tech Talk 360, unveiling one bite at a time.
Thank you.